It was awkward. I was looking him dead in the eye. I was trying to draw him and couldn't, which made me laugh, because that's just the body's natural reaction sometimes to being embarrassed or being silly. We start to laugh, and then he started to laugh, and then the people started to laugh behind us, because why? Anybody of you here that laughter is contagious? Right? If you cannot have it in you to laugh, it's up to you to choose. Remember? Choose. Get up off your feet. Or, no, not off your feet. On your feet. See? On your feet. And choose to get around other people. Gradually, I drew him, I drew his daughter, I drew a couple more people, and finally they let me out of that horrible place. And I sat in the car, and my roommate said, "Stands out like a deck of cards, 10s, 20s, bills." I said, "Where'd you get that?" She said, "They thought I was your manager, and they were tipping you." It was $150 on a Sunday night in Roanoke. I was doing something I didn't want to do, something that totally embarrassed me because the pictures were horrible. And all I could think of is never again. Never, ever, ever again. Here it is 30 years later. And I am earning my entire living with a daggone Crayola marker. Which was really embarrassing. But now that, so many people are having screen time, and there's so much entertainment that will occupy our brain. I find that young people, when I go to after palms now, have a hard time looking me in the eye. They will sit in the chair and not know how to connect with me. And I know you've seen it. I went to my convention and conference, and there was a group of high school students that were competing in an orchestra. These are musical. They were all sitting in the lobby, so it was a good many of them. Every single one of them was on their cell phone, with the exception of one. Bless her heart, she was reading a book. Yeah. And my heart kind of broke, because I remember being on the bus and band, and I remember being in those in-between places, and I remember laughing. And I remember it wasn't being in the band and having to go, N-A, Tigers! I didn't like doing that. It was the bus. It was being on the bus. It was being in the in-between places. It was making fun of somebody that something had happened. So those of us that remember how that was, we're going to have to fight for our kids and fight for our grandkids and engage them. Teach them how to draw stick figures. Teach them how to tell a story on yourself. Find out, look at them and think, not, we don't have anything in common, but dig to find out, you and I have something in common. And what we do have in common is the human being's natural ability to make itself laugh. So, World Laughter Day is going to be May 6th. Right now, we are 30 times more likely to laugh when we're with others. When Robert Provine, that scientist that I started to say and probably just dropped the ball on that one, he started doing research on humor, and he studied animals the same way that Jane Goodall person studied gorillas. Thousands of pages of data. He went to malls, he went to every public place he could find. And he studied humans like they were an animal. And he studied to see when they laughed. And it was never because of jokes. Very rarely. It was just the social part of being together that made people laugh. It was you had to be there part. Can y'all give me a big hand? No. See what we've already connected, because we already have an inside joke, right? So when you find a humor buddy and somebody goes around with you, Start being aware of these little tools. Oh, that's a cute little game. I can connect with my niece or my nephew or my friend when they're feeling down. Right? They're gonna laugh. So when you sing together, did you know your heart and your heartbeats regulate to each other? There was some research that said that. And also, if you do have dementia or you do have Alzheimer's, what happens is you retain your emotional memory. And music touches that. Laughter touches your emotional memory. So start creating those moments. One last thing, and then I'm going to let you go or let you ask questions. Hold your hand out like this, and your other hand like this. Now, what I want you to do is point, one thumb is up, and the other has the finger pointed out, right? Now what I want you to do is switch back and forth. Do it really slow. In fact, point at somebody else like this. Do it really slow. No, sir, not both thumbs at the same time. Not both fingers at the same time. Okay. If you do it really slowly, it took me almost 2 hours driving on an interstate to learn that. Which is why I missed my exit. But I thought it was so cool, you know, I'm driving, trying to do it. And now, whoops, okay, now I can do it like this. Do you realize you just activated your cognitive brain? You started those gamma waves going. You started that moving. Okay, find a humor buddy, start a humor club, start sharing these daily tricks. Find out, if you go on the internet, heaven forbid after telling you to stay off the grid, but if you go on the internet and start digging into humor, you'll find the research is starting to really blow up there that we need to laugh and we need humor. And we already know how to do it because we were born in a generation where we had to entertain ourselves. We were forced to do that. So reach deep into your memory, find out what you did, and do it again. So wiggle your arms, really clap. Good, harder, keep going. Now, on this side, I want you to go ah, ooh, ee, I, ah. I think it's ah, ooh, ee, I, ah, ah, ooh, ee, I, ah. Now, what I want you to do as I do, right? I'm going to don't hit the person next to you. Okay? Okay. Gotcha. What you just did there was a very short, brief span of laughter yoga. Now, if we were doing 45 minutes of it, you do some deep breathing, then you might do, let's do one last one, mental floss, okay? I know you all have sometimes sung, right? You go, la 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 la, right? So, what I want you to do is go, ha 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 ha, and then take that mental floss and swish your brain. Ready? Can we do it? Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. You do something here. Feel a little silly. Yeah. Okay. Take a deep breath in. I think we're done. But if we have any questions, one last thing. My husband was a humor doomer. He wrote this book called Death Is. Ooh, yeah, go ahead, express yourselves. Ooh, yeah, Death Is. He and his buddy had the idea that, wow, they were in advertising. They thought if happiness is a warm puppy, what is death? What is death? They were curious, and they decided they'd come up with their own answers. And this is just, death is being alone without being lonely. Death is looking better than anyone else at your 50th class reunion. Death is getting at the end of the tunnel, and there's nobody there saying, go back, go back. Oh, I know, isn't that sad? So, when he married me, he decided he wanted to reprint this and redo it. And so I did, and it was the longest 4 years I ever did. And we came up, I decided, they only had a couple illustrations here, but in every illustration, there's a human in a casket. I know, I mean, they're all cartoons though, the things are kind of funny. So I decided I didn't want to draw warm bodies in a basket. So being a human being, I have an imagination. So if all else fails, I can go anywhere in my imagination. So I decided what creature plays. What creature plays dead? A possum. Yeah, and as a cartoonist, cartoons never die. And you know the symbol for cartoons is the little X's in the eyes. So they don't have to stay in the casket. As long as you can put the little X's in the eyes or you have a possum, it's kind of understood. So I did a book, and all the illustrations are my attempt at being possums. Okay, death is being able to hold your breath longer than anybody else in the room. There is group humor. Context is very important when you decide to make people laugh. The timing of humor is very important. So when you come into a room, if somebody's really down here, you don't come in like Mary Poppins with an umbrella. You do meet them where they are and you say, thank you for donating your body to science. I'm going to draw you now. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, what do you ask somebody about laughter, right? We all think we know how to do it. When your body knows how to do it, it tells your brain you're okay. Yes?
What time can we see you at the library?
Whoa, thank you. I love these organized people. Which reminds me, I have a proclamation from the city of Roanoke. World Laughter Day will be May 6th. Okay? Like I said, I didn't start out being flip and funny and being able to see funny, but 30 years of having to play with people, make them feel safe, or try to. Sorry about that. I was able to, now I do laughter yoga, as does my friend Miss Connie Skaggs over there in the corner. We'll be starting at the Glenvar Library. You now have a humor gym that you can go to exercise your sense of humor. And if you choose to come, we will do a lot of it can be done in a chair. You come just as you are, and you can move or not, but I guarantee you we will be laughing a lot, which science is now telling you is great for your body and for your mind and your soul. So the mayor did a proclamation for us that's saying in the city of Roanoke, we will be a city of laughter that day. So please, May 6th, come at 6:30, it's a Monday. World Laughter Day is Sunday when you go to church or when you visit your family. Please tell them it's World Laughter Day. Charlie Chaplin said laugh and learn to play with your pain. And oopsie, what else did Charlie Chaplin say? Lots of other things. But he's another great person. Thank you. Yes?
It's easier to draw men, women, children.
Actually, old guys are easier to draw. They have, it's a serious question, right? I'm not trying to be flip about that. Do you want to know why?
Sure.
See the curiosity. Why? Right? Because men have more planes on their face. Women have softer curves. When you're drawing with a marker, you have lines. So let's face it. Also, as we get older, there's a number of things that continue to grow. Any of you know what those are? Nose and ears. But did you also know something shrinks? Lips. Lips shrink, girls. Sorry about that. We're all losing our lips unless they're really, really fat. But since the ears continue to grow, oftentimes the ladies have long hair and cover the ears, but these wonderful guys just don't. This might be a man sitting next to you. So that's all you would need to identify. This was not of anybody here. This was just a sample drawing, okay? So, yeah. And also men have more angular bridges, stronger noses. It's easier for me to see them than the women. Small, really cute children are really easy to do. If you want a really, really quick lesson on how to draw, here's an adult face. Halfway in between is your eyes. Halfway in between is your nose. And halfway in between there is your mouth. And that's about the appropriate ratio. And then if you want to hold it up, age them up, the variations are the bigger ears, right? The dropping this, right? Now kids are fun because you can make anything look like a, yeah. Kids are fun. Their faces, their heads are more round, okay? But their eyes are just little buttons because the irises stay the same size from the time they're born as when the time we do. So that's already looking childlike because there's no, even though there's no nose, if you want me to prove it, the nose is really close to the eyes. So you bring the little nose right up there and you've already got the start of something that's really childlike just because you put the eyes way down. And of course little babies have no chin at all. So all you have to do is put the mouth really low down here and put the little ears here. Oh man, you guys are going to be the bomb when you draw that for your grandkids. See? Instant child, just with the placement. So then as you age, there's different things. So as an artist, of course, you got to understand, over 30 years, maybe 3 to 4 gigs a week, I have drawn tens of thousands of people. I hope that I've gotten a little bit better. Not much, otherwise I'd be in museums and a great artist. But for me, I didn't draw because I really loved the drawings. I've always, the drawing just became the vehicle for me to have access to what I was curious about, which is all of you. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming, and let's give her a big hand again. We appreciate you being here, and if anybody wants to hang around and wants some information or anything about our community, myself, Gypsy, and Laura back here are happy to talk to you. Otherwise, we'll have the bus